Hello everyone, welcome to the yarn bowl. Today we're going to see how to crochet this beautiful and colorful lily pad placemats. This can be crocheted to any size. Today we're going to see how to crochet it for a dinner plate size, and I'll give you tips and tricks on how to crochet this for a salad plate size and as a coaster. You can also use a different type of yarn to make a rug out of this pattern. It's totally customizable and very easy to make, as it's entirely made up of double crochet stitches, which means that it's easy and beginner friendly too. Come on, let's see how to crochet this beautiful lily pad placemats. Meanwhile, if you are new to this channel, please do not forget to subscribe to the yarn bowl and click on the bell icon as well, so that you get notified whenever I post a new video. Also, if you find time, please do not forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram to get more updates. So for this project I'm using feels like Butta yarn. It's a nice thick yarn and a scissor and 5mm crochet hook. So I'll go ahead to show you how to make a placemat for a dinner plate. So for round 1 we are going to do a magic ring, chain 3 and 11 double crochets around the magic ring. This chain 3 is also considered as our first double crochet, and so at the end of round 1 we'll have 12 double crochets on the magic ring, and once we are done we do a slip stitch on top of our starting chain 3 to finish this round. And for round 2 we are going to chain 3 and work 1 double crochet on the same stitch. So this chain 3 is considered as our first double crochet. So then we are going to work 1 double crochet on the same stitch, and we will work 2 double crochet on each stitch around. So each stitch will have 2 double crochets. So at the end of round 2 we'll have 24 stitches, and we will close this round by doing a slip stitch on top of our starting chain 3. So for round 3 we are going to work chain 3, which is considered as our first double crochet, and on the next stitch we work 2 double crochets, and on the next stitch we work 1 double crochet, and on the next stitch we work 2 double crochets. So we are going to alternate between 1 double crochet and 2 double crochet stitches around, and we will continue doing like this and close this round by doing a slip stitch on top of our starting chain 3, and at the end of round 3 we will have 36 stitches. and we can start working round 4. For round 4 we'll do a chain 3 and then we work 1 double crochet on the next stitch and then 2 double crochet on the third stitch. So and then next 2 stitches we work 1 double crochet each, and then third stitch we work 2 double crochet. So we are going to work like this around, and then we close this round by doing a slip stitch on top of our starting chain 3. So at the end of row 4 we have 48 stitches. So we can start working round 5. For round 5 we work chain 3 and then we work 1 double crochet on next 2 stitches, and in the fourth stitch we work 2 double crochets on the same stitch. So we are going to continue working like this around. So for the first 3 stitches we'll have 1 double crochet each on each stitch, and on the fourth stitch we are going to have 2 double crochet stitches. So we are going to continue working like this around, and at the end of this row we will have 60 stitches. So now we can start with round 6. For round 6 we are going to chain 3 and then work 1 double crochet each on the next 3 stitches, and in the fifth stitch we are going to work 2 double crochet. That means for the first 4 stitch we are going to work 1 double crochet each, and on the fifth stitch we are going to work 2 double crochet. So we are going to continue working like this around, and then at the end of this round we are going to slip stitch on top of our starting chain 3 to close this round, and at the end of this round we will have 72 stitches. So now we can start with round 7. For round 7 we are going to chain 3 the same way we have done for previous rows, and then we are going to work 1 double crochet each on next 4 stitches, and then on the next stitch we are going to work 2 double crochet. That means for the first 5 stitches we are going to work 1 double crochet each, and on the 6th stitch we are going to work 2 double crochets. So we are going to continue working like this round, and then we are going to close this round by doing a slip stitch on top of our starting chain 3. So at the end of this round we'll have 84 stitches. We are going to start working round 8. Round 8 is the same way as we have done before. For the previous round we are going to work a chain 3, and then we are going to work 1 double crochet each for the next 5 stitches, and then on the next stitch we are going to work 2 double crochet on the same stitch. That is, we are going to work 1 double crochet each for the 6 stitches, and on the 7th stitch we will be working 2 double crochet. So we are going to continue following this pattern around, and we'll end this round by doing a slip stitch on top of our starting chain 3. So at the end of this round we'll have 96 stitches. Now we can proceed with round 9. So for round 9 we are going to work chain 3, and then we will continue working 1 double crochet each for the next 6 stitches, and then on the next stitch we will work 2 double crochet on the same stitch. That is, we are going to work 1 double crochet each for the 7 stitches, and on the 8th stitch we are going to work 2 double crochets. So we are going to continue working like this around, and we'll end this round by doing a slip stitch on top of our chain 3. So at the end of this round we'll have 108 stitches. So now I'm almost going to complete my round 9. So this diameter of the circle is enough to place my dinner plate. So it usually differs based on your yarn thickness and your hook size. So the gauge depends on these factors. So you can always place your dinner plates on the work that you do and check if that diameter is enough for your dinner plate, and if your yarn length or hook size differs, you may continue working more rounds, or you may decrease few rounds based on your measurements. So this is just an idea on how we work based on different yarn size and hook size. So just I'm having this use and throw plate and checking. So this bottom diameter or the circumference is enough to place this plate on my placemat. So both are of same circumference. So if you see, this yarn is a different yarn. It's called Impeccable by Loops and Threads brand. So this is also a thick yarn. So I worked with same hook size for that placemat as well. So now I'm going to start with my border rounds. So next 2 rounds will be the border rounds. So we will be working only in the back loop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 3 and then work 1 double crochet each on next 7 stitches only in the back loop, because we'll be working in this front loop later with our borders. So we'll be working 1 double crochet each for the next 7 stitches, and the first stitch being our chain 3, and on the next last stitch, that is the that is the 9th stitch, we'll be working 2 double crochet on the back loop of the 9th stitch. So considering our chain 3 is also a double crochet, we'll be working 1 double crochet on each stitch on the back loop for 8 stitches, and on the 9th stitch we'll be working 2 double crochet on the same stitch of the on the back loop of the stitch. So continue working like this around, and we will be closing this round by doing a slip stitch on top of our starting chain 3. Now we can start with round 11. Round 11 is again worked in the back loop. So we start with chain 3 and then we work in back loop. We work 1 double crochet each for the next 8 stitches, and our chain 3 is also considered as double crochet. That means we work 1 double crochet for first 9 stitches, and then on the 10th stitch we work 2 double crochet on the back loop. So if all the stitches we are going to work in the back loop. So for the first 9 stitches we are going to work 1 double crochet each on the back loop of each stitch, and on the 10th stitch we work 2 double crochet on the same stitch on the back loop of that stitch. So at the end of this round 11 we will have 132 stitches. So we end this round by working a slip stitch on top of our starting chain 3. Now the increment work is going to end here. So I'm going to close this round 11 by doing a slip stitch on top of our starting chain 3. So we are not going to work any more increment rounds. We are going to start with our borders. So these borders are worked in the form of petals, which gives us the look of lily pads. So for round border 1 we are going to chain 1 and work one single crochet on the same stitch. So chain one single crochet on the same stitch, skip one stitch and work 5 double crochet on the same stitch. This working of 5 double crochet on the same stitch is also called as shell stitch, because it has a look or form of a shell. So this is called as shell stitch. So whenever we work 5 double crochet on the same stitch, we call it as a shell stitch, and then we skip one stitch and work one single crochet on the next stitch. Then we skip one stitch, work 5 double crochet or shell stitch on the next stitch, and then we skip one stitch, work one single crochet, and then we skip one stitch, work a shell stitch. So we are going to continue working like this around, and then we close this round by doing a slip stitch on top of our starting single crochet. So border 1 is now complete. So we need to reach to our front loop position of our previous row. So what we are going to do is we are going to just gently do a slip stitch couple of times to reach to the front loop of the previous row. You can also cut your yarn and join it at that row, or I prefer doing this way. And then once you reach the front loop and pick up the front loop, starting front loop of the previous row, I'm going to work one shell stitch on the same stitch there, and then I will skip one front loop and then work a single crochet on the next stitch, and then skip the next front loop, work a shell stitch on the next stitch. So we are going to continue this pattern again for our second border, and then we work once we are done working like this around, we are going to do a slip stitch on top of our starting chain 3 to end this round. Now we can start with border 3. Border 3 is also worked on the same way we have done for border 2. We are gently working slip stitches on the posts of the stitch that is near to it to reach the front loop of the previous row. Work one shell on that front loop, skip one stitch, do a single crochet and skip one stitch, work a shell stitch on the next stitch. So we are going to continue the same pattern around, and then we end this round by doing a slip stitch on top of our starting chain 3. So with this, our lily pad placemat will be complete. So our lily pad placemat is completed. I'm just working a slip stitch on top of starting chain 3, and then I will cut my yarn, work a slip stitch and secure my yarn and cut off the extras. Now our lily pad placemat for placing our dinner plate size is ready. The other two placemats, the pink one can be used as a salad plate placemat, and the white or the half white one can be used as a coffee cup coaster. You can, as I said, you can work them in any sizes you prefer. If you want a bigger one or you want to use it like a rug, you can continue doing this in a bulky yarn and add couple of more rows to it, or you can work the smaller sizes as I have worked in this pink yarn and the half white yarn. So the size is totally up to you. You can measure your circle's diameter or circumference of the objects that you want to place in it, and then you can go ahead, work that many rounds, and add two more rows at the end for working out borders. So this borders is like petals, and it gives a very good texture and look to this placemat. So normally it looks good with thick yarns, but you can use any yarns to work this project. Now if you see, I've worked this placemat so that if you place them on top of each other, it gives you a wonderful flower like pattern, so which would be very beautiful looking if you give them as one whole set as a gift. And this is such a simple project with only double crochet stitches, but yet it gives you a beautiful look. So try this at home and let me know your comments. Please do not forget to subscribe to the Yarn Bowl and click on the bell icon as well. Thanks for watching. Bye.